Hi everyone, it's Chloe from Chloe's Creative Cards, and today I'm going to show you how to create this fabulous card using our beautiful Snowball glitter. We're going to be using our crystal snowflake border die, and we're also going to be using the Christmas Magnolia stamp and die set, and we are going to be stamping and embossing onto vellum for this project. So it's really pretty, but I think the star of the show on this one is that gorgeous Snowball glitter that I'm going to show you exactly how to use. So if I just lift that card up, can you see how it gives you this amazing holographic finish in the background of your project? It is just absolutely stunning, and it is perfect for creating your own glitter card. So I'm going to dive on in and show you how to create this one. I'm going to talk you through exactly how to make this card and what you're going to need. As always, all of the products used are listed in the description below. And if you'd like to shop any of the products, you can do so online at www.chloescreativecards.co.uk. Okay then, so we're going to get started, and I want to show you the magic of this Snowball glitter. It looks like a white glitter when you see it in the jar, but when you actually start to use it, it is incredible. So I'm just going to explain how it works to start with. So I've got a piece of our gorgeous Lagoon card, and this is just a little tester piece to show you. I've got a double-sided adhesive sheet that I'm just sticking onto here, like so. And then I'm going to take the back off there. Just grab my little pokey tool, lift that off, and then I'm going to cover this with our Snowball glitter. And you can see how this glitter is transparent. So it is going to allow whatever the colour is underneath to shine through, but give it this amazing holographic type finish. It is absolutely fabulous. So we're going to use this on this project. So to get started, I'm going to show you how to make the background. Just going to pop this back into the jar. I feel like this glitter is going to become like an essential in your craft box because it's so nice. So we're going to start off with our gorgeous crystal snowflake border die. This is a huge die, this one. Brilliant for creating borders on your cards. You could use it on inserts as well if you wanted to, just to add a little bit of extra detail. So you are going to need to die cut out 2 of these. I'm just going to do 1 because I've already got some pre-prepared. So I've got my piece of white card. I'm going to tape my die in place, and I've got my Gemini machine set up just to the side of me. So my plate combination to cut this one, I'm going to use my base plate, my plastic shim, my die cut side up. I've got my magnetic shim in there as well, and I'm going to put my clear cutting plate on the top. I'm then going to run that through my Gemini. And we'll grab that at the other side and then lift this out of the machine. So you can see how absolutely beautifully that die has cut. We're then going to remove this from the backing, like so. This bit's to come out too. I'm going to remove this from the die, and you will see how beautifully this die cuts. So it's quite a delicate one, so you just want to be a little bit careful when you're pulling it out, but you can see all of the detail within this image. It is absolutely gorgeous. So that is your lovely border die there, and when you stick it down you can straighten it back out. Just pull it nice and tight and then it'll just straighten out. So what we are going to do is we're going to take a piece of white card. So this project is all using white card, white embossing powder and white vellum. And then I've got a little piece of double-sided adhesive sheet here. So this is like your double-sided tape that you get on a roll, but a big sheet of it. So what we're going to do is peel the backing away, like so, and then stick this down onto my card. And you'll notice my card is just a little bit bigger than my double-sided sheet. So you want to get that nicely stuck down, get all of the air out of there. Just give it a good little press over. Then I'm going to lift the corner up. I'm going to take our snowflake borders. So I've got my two that I've already die cut here. I'm going to start at the bottom. Like so. And then we're just going to pull it up and stick these down. Using a little pokey tool does help because it is a little bit fiddly when you're working with a double-sided adhesive sheet, but oh my word, the effect makes it absolutely worth it. So pull that up nice and tight again. And what you can do, oops, you keep your back in and use that to press it down. So then I'm going to continue to pull it tight. Stick these bits here. Like so. Then we're going to do exactly the same at the other side. So I'm going to stick that one there, stick that there, and just work my way along, sticking this down. Like so. So I'm just pulling these up into place, making sure that they look nice and kind of lined up and pretty straight. There we go. Okay, we're then just going to trim off the ends. So we're creating our own gorgeous background. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to take this piece and we're going to just give this a good little press down, make sure that our die cut is nicely stuck. Then we're going to take our glitter, which is that gorgeous snowball, and you literally are just going to rub it into the image, like so. And then you can tap away the excess. And that then creates this most gorgeous glittery background on your project. So any leftover is going to go straight back into the jar, like so. And pop the lid on here. And I'm going to grab in my guillotine, and we're making a 5x7 card. So I'm going to trim my piece of card down to about 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Okay. So we are going to trim a little bit away. That's fine. And 6 3. There we go. Okay, so you can see how we've now created our own gorgeous glittery background. So I've got my 5x7 card blank here, and I'm going to stick this onto the front. So I thought today I would show you how to create a little bit of a smaller card, because we don't do many small cards on this channel. So I thought, well, we'll give it a little go today. Okay, still popping some foam pads just onto the back there. I'm going to take the backs off of those. That is then got to get stuck down onto my card blank there. Okay, and next up I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous little vellum flower. So I'm going to just give my little workbench a little dust over, because I've got bits of die cut and all sorts on here. So let's just get rid of that to start with. And then we're going to take a piece of white vellum, and I've taken 2 of the flower stamps. from the Christmas Magnolia set. Okay, and I've got those on one of my acrylic blocks. Now if I bring in the Christmas Magnolia stamp and die set, you can see this is a really nice large stamp and die set. You've got 3 5-petal flowers, 3 3-petal, some leaves and a sentiment on here as well, and then you have the dies to coordinate. Now on the die plate you do actually have the little stamens to do the centres of the flowers as well, which is a really, really lovely kind of little finishing touch really. So what we're going to do is take some white vellum. We need to stamp 2 of the 5-petal and 1 of the 3-petal. I'm just going to do it once to show you how to stamp and emboss, but you need to do 2 of the 5-petal and 1 of the 3-petal for this project at home. So we're going to dust the vellum over with a little anti-static bag, and then we're going to take our Wow clear embossing ink pad. So this is like a sticky ink pad that is absolutely perfect for holding all of your embossing powders, and it's a really good ink pad. I really like using this one. So I'm going to take my stamp, I'm going to place it down, and then I'm going to apply firm even pressure all over the image, and then I'm going to lift that away. I'm going to grab in my scrap paper, and I'm going to grab in my embossing powder. The embossing powder that I'm using is the Wow Opaque Bright White Superfine. Again, I've linked all of these products in the description below. That's going to go straight back into the jar, and then we're going to heat these up. So I'm going to hold my heat gun still. As soon as I see that embossing powder melt and change, and it's going to go super duper quickly on the vellum, we're just going to move our heat gun over the image. Like so. Okay, so you can see how beautiful that then looks, and you've got that really nice crisp and clear image. So I'm just going to give it a couple of seconds just to cool itself down, and then I'm going to take my dies and place these over the top. And I'm actually going to hold these in place with a little bit of low tack tape. So we're just going to pop our die over the top like so, and then tape that one. And then exactly the same with the next one. Pop the die over the top and tape that in place like so. Then I'm going to grab in our plates again. So I'm going to use my base plate, my plastic shim. I'm going to pop my die cut side up with the vellum and my cutting plate on the top. You'll notice I've whipped out the magnetic shim for this one because you don't really need it when you're just putting an outline die. I'm going to run that straight through the machine, and then we're going to grab that at the other side. And when we lift these out, you've got your perfectly die cut flowers. So you're going to need 2 of the large and 1 of the smaller flower there. Now what you'll notice on here is, can you see how I've got a little bit of sparkle on there? So I've added in a little bit of that Snowball glitter. So to do that, literally all I've done is I've taken my Art Glitter Dries Clear adhesive, and I've just gone in and just added little dots of PVA into the centres of the petals, like so. And then we're going to grab our glitter back in. So let me grab my scrap paper and glitter. I'm going to sprinkle that over the top, tap away the excess, and then when that dries, it's just going to give you like a lovely little frosty shimmer. So you're going to do that on all of the flowers. And then once we get to that stage, we're at the point of assembling. So what we're going to do is take the flower, we're going to curl the petal, like so. The same on this one. And then on the smaller one, we're going to take this and we're going to roll and curl the petals up. Like so. So we're just adding that little bit of dimension by curling the petals up over and kind of, I'm just rolling the paper between my finger and thumb. Then we're going to take a little bit of glue gel. So I'm just using a little bit of pin flare. My tube has decided to become blocked, so I've just cut the corner off at the top. We're going to layer the 2 5-petal flowers together, like so. And then we're going to add a little bit of glue onto here and stick the 3-petal one in the middle, like so. And I'm just going to give this a little squish, just a little squish down. Okay, so you can see how that's then created this really beautiful, delicate 3-dimensional flower. So what we're going to do next is die cut out the little centre stamen. So I've got my base plate, my plastic shim, my magnetic shim, my die, my mirror card and my cutting plate. That's going to go straight through my die cutting machine. And I'm going to grab that at the other side. Okay, so this is just a little scrap of silver mirror card that I had. We all kind of hold on to these, don't we? And then this is the stamen die that you get included within the set. So I've taken a smaller one and a larger one. I like to do that because I just feel like it adds a little bit more depth and dimension. So we're then going to take the smaller one. We're going to curl it round in our fingers. And we're going to pop that down in the middle. Like so. And then we're going to just shuffle that over a little bit. There we go. And then we're going to add a jewel into the middle. So I'm using one of the AB stones from the Chloe's Favourites Bling Box. And we're going to just grab my tweezers just to drop that down into the middle. And then we're going to give that a good squish. Now this is where our stamping mats really come in, because our stamping mats are nice and kind of soft and squishy, so you can get a little bit of extra shape in there. Pop a blob of glue onto the back and then stick that down into the middle of the flower, and you can see how beautiful and 3-dimensional that then looks. Okay, I'm going to pop that to one side just to kind of dry off a little bit, and then I'm going to grab in my Snowflake sentiment die set. So within this one you get your little snowflake kind of plaque with the snowflakes on the corner, and then you also get the inner frame as well. So I'm going to tape these 2 down just on a plain white card. Again, I'm not using anything kind of fancy or anything like that today. I'm just using really basic materials that we're all going to have kind of in our craft box. So just tape these 2 down, and then we're going to run that through our die cutting machine again. Pop that in and off it goes. And while that's running through, I'm going to pick out a little sentiment. So I've got Merry Christmas here. So we will run with that one. We just whip these off the block. Let's go. Lift these in. And again, you can see beautifully die cut out. I'm going to pop our Merry Christmas across the middle. And then I'm going to take my VersaFine Clear ink pad, and the colour that I'm using, it's like a grey. This one's called Morning Mist. I'm going to ink up my stamp. I'm going to hover and place that down into the middle of the little plaque. Then just apply a little bit of pressure. Lift that away. I'm going to use my heat gun just to heat set that. Just so then it'll be nice and dry for when we start to stick this onto our card. And then we'll take a couple of foam pads just onto the back, 1, 2. Take the backs off. I like to have a little scraps basket as well when I'm working. It helps to keep me tidy. So then that is going to go down into the middle of our snowflake plaque like this. Take the backs off, and I'm going to stick this onto my card. Put my sentiment about here. So, and I'm going to put my little flower just up here. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of glue gel just to stick that down. That then it'll sit there like so, and then sometimes I think you just need a little bit of something to finish it off. So I've taken a little piece of foliage, and this is actually from the winter foliage set, which I do believe is in the sale at the moment on the website, so hop over and have a little look. And I took a little bit of heat resistant acetate, and then I took my little anti-static bag, give it a little dust over. Okay, and then I'm going to take my clear embossing ink pad again. So I'm going to ink up the stamp. I'm going to place this down and press. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And I love using heat resistant acetate on my projects. Honestly, I use it so much. I've done this foliage technique for years now because it just works so well. So then we're going to take that same opaque bright white Superfine embossing powder, tap that over the top, and then we're going to heat this up. So again, I'm just going to go in with the heat gun, holding that heat gun still. As soon as my embossing powder starts to melt and change, and then we're going to just trim this all down. So we're going to just cut out these little branches. I like using little scissors, I like my little spring cut ones. So literally all we're going to do is just whiz around the edges of these branches. So that's 1. 2. 3. And that's the 4th there. Okay, and then we'll just grab in our card again. Into that bit of scrap paper. Then I'm just going to use a little bit of glue gel just onto the backs of these. I'm just going to stick them down and tuck them in. There we go. And then as a little final touch, I'm going to take some of our self-adhesive sparkles. Okay, and just add these in just onto kind of these little kind of what's the right word, like strandy pieces. Does that make sense? There, and then we'll just do a couple onto here as well. And there. So then you can see that would then be your finished card. So something a little bit different on the channel today. I really hope that you have enjoyed this project. All of the items I've used are available to buy from www.chloeendean.com. chloescreativecards.co.uk, and everything that I've used is listed in the description below. So please do have a little look in there. Any comments or questions, leave them in the comments box below. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe. Or if you're watching on Facebook, give our Facebook page a like too. Hope to see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.